Okay, this is Brent back on tradeguild.blogspot.com, and we are going to take a look at um, some short positions. First, I just want to kind of show you what happened with some of the ones that some of the more successful ones from our last video. NUAN, Nuance Communications, and I think Job probably still follows this stock on the tag board, but we were recommending a short right up in this level and down almost 5.75% today on increasing volume. Nothing huge, but it's increasing a little bit. So if you are in this stock, I think I would continue to hold it, and I would probably put my stop at this point above that $8 level, and let's see what that can do. But so far, a really nice start, and it looks like there's some more downside there. Let's take a look at NTRI, which was also a recent blog short list candidate and was on that video, I believe. And here was the play here. We were looking at support that was broken, turned into resistance, and a short into that resistance level. We got a break down here on big volume and our subsequent little rally up here on lighter volume. Those are the situations we want to short. And in a day or two since we put this call out, 4.5%. So obviously the shorts are still working. RJF, this is not a huge percentage gain by any means, 1.5%, but just to show you the setup here and how it worked, we've been seeing this trend line functioning as resistance, and we wanted to short it right up here on this doji in between the long white day over here, or long up candle. So that's a reversal signal right there, and it occurred at resistance. And you know, like I said, 1.5%, it's almost not worth it, but the setup was good. Let's take a look at LCC, and this has been on the blog for several weeks now. We caught this move back in here, and again we saw another big dump in volume on the fall, and a lighter ride up on volume into resistance up here, and down almost 4.5% today. Again, I would continue to hold LCC if you are in, and I think the rising fuel costs are not going to help this sector at all. My stop at this point would be down here around $43 with this trend channel. Let's take a look at one final idea that we had from last week, and this is actually I think an idea that came from David DT from the tag board. And basically what we're shorting a big head and shoulders top here. It was down about a little over 2% today, and to short it anywhere in this area at that neckline. And we also saw the 200-day moving average and this doji come into effect right there. So all in all, nice move. I expect we're going to see this support just fall apart. At this point, my stop would go above the neckline here, maybe at $22. So let's take a look at some new ideas. Let me just move my notes here. And first up is a Warden pick, a telechart pick from tonight, IWA. It's the setup's not very obvious on this screen, but if we go to a trend channel, there we see it, linear regression channel, and basically what we saw was this breakout from the channel on big volume. Look at the light volume rally back into the channel. That's called kissing the channel goodbye in telechart vernacular, and I think this is a brilliant area to short it if you can get in there around $19. Ultimately, I think your stop goes about $19.50, I would say. I mean, you don't have to give it that much, even $19.25. Let's move on. GRMN, and this has been on the blog for I think a couple weeks now at this point. And again, there's that break of support, in this case the 50-day moving average. We got a break back here too, but the volume wasn't very convincing. This break came with nice volume. There's that lower volume rally back into resistance at the 50-day moving average, and it's spitting out these little stars up here. All in all, I think we're going to at least test the 200-day moving average here, possibly a little bit more on the downside there. If we take a look at the distribution, You can see, it's thick, bright red, blood red. There's blood on the chart. TSV is well below the zero line, and we have a divergence in money stream here, as it is divergent from this point to this point. We have a lower low in money stream and a higher low relative to this point. So that's a bearish divergence, and just suggests what we already know here. There's distribution going on. This whole top pattern actually is distribution, and what we're seeing here now is the initial stages of decline. So there's possibly quite a greater deal of downside on Garmin. All right, next up is CELG. Again, this was on the blog many times. I think it was on that video as well. And there's the setup. We have the breakdown of support, or the 50-day moving average at least, on good volume. Rally on light volume back into support, or former support, which is now resistance. And if we take a closer look, you can see we even got a little Harami reversal, not textbook, but it's right up there at resistance. So for me, it counts. And ultimately, I think we have a good deal of downside in this stock. This is a distribution pattern up here at the top, and the indicators are just starting to fall apart now. You can see TSV is just slouching underneath that zero line. So let's see what else we have here. Hypercom. This is a position I'm in. I'm not going to do an in-depth chart analysis because I've got other videos on this, but there's the head and shoulders top, the breakdown on very large volume, the light volume rally back into resistance. And I don't think you're going to get too many more. I've said this for a couple days now, but there's the stars, 880s, that level of resistance. So I think move on that one while you still can. There's not a lot of time left, I don't think. And ultimately, this has got a lot of downside in it. I would say we've got at least another 2 points from this level. So maybe down around 650 or so. RIG. I don't know who came first, the chicken or the egg. I know David DT's been following this on the tag board. I think we had this on the blog. I'm not 100% sure. But there's that big top formation, and there's that neckline in there. Breakdown again on big volume. There's that light volume rally back into resistance. So if we can go ahead and short that somewhere between $68 here and $70 with a stop about 71, I think we're in really good shape there. TTMI, and this one I've been in since I think back here around $15. So I took some profits in the $9 area, and we're getting one more chance to possibly short this. If it breaks above 13, I'd be out of the position for sure. For sure. But so far, it's holding underneath that 50-day moving average, so you can use that as a stop. That's it for our ideas tonight. I promised Defender, if I had time, which I think I got about a minute left, I'd show him what we've been talking about in EZM. We weren't sure which way this was going to go with the news that just came out, and if anybody's interested, he's got a really good handle on that, so you can catch Defender on the tag board. There's that Harami candlestick pattern consisting of the long up day and the doji, or the star, that falls in the middle of that body. And when this occurs on large, high volume like that, it just becomes even more likely. Also, the level at which it occurred happens to be a top where we saw some distribution before, so there's possibly resistance that was occurring there. And we can see, if you look at BOP today, look at that, what happened today, that red line down. So I think EZM is probably headed for a reversal of some sort. I don't know how deep, but we'll take a look at that. All right, so that's it for tonight. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.